Let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped to think about how history, the very concept of it, came to exist? I'm not talking about textbooks or dusty old scrolls. I mean the moment when humans decided, hey, we should write this down so future generations can know what happened. That decision didn't just change how we recorded events, it changed us. It shaped who we are as a species. And today, we're diving deep into that incredible journey. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's explore one of humanity's greatest achievements, the birth of history. By the end of this, you'll see why understanding where history began isn't just about looking back. It's about moving forward with purpose. Before there was writing, there was storytelling. Long before anyone thought to carve symbols into stone or scribble words on papyrus, our ancestors were already creating history in their own way. They told stories around campfires, painted pictures on cave walls, and sang songs that passed wisdom from one generation to the next. Imagine sitting under a starry sky 20,000 years ago, listening to an elder recount tales of great hunts, heroic battles, or mysterious gods. These weren't just bedtime stories, they were the first attempts to preserve human experience. But here's the thing, oral traditions had limits. Stories could get distorted over time. Details blurred, truths became legends, and legends sometimes turned into myths. As brilliant as these early storytellers were, they needed a better way to keep their memories alive. Enter writing. Fast forward to around 3400 BCE, in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. This is where everything changed. Humans invented the first known writing system, cuneiform. Picture clay tablets etched with wedge-shaped marks, painstakingly pressed into soft clay by Sumerian scribes. At first, cuneiform wasn't used for poetry or philosophy, it was all about business. Think inventory lists, tax records, and trade agreements. But soon, those humble beginnings gave rise to something extraordinary. For the first time, people could document events beyond their lifetimes. They could record laws, chronicle kings' reigns, and even tell epic tales like the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of humanity's earliest surviving works of literature. Suddenly, history wasn't fleeting, it was permanent. Other ancient civilizations followed suit. In Egypt, hieroglyphs adorned temple walls and tombs, immortalizing pharaohs and their deeds. In China, oracle bones cracked open new ways to predict the future and record the past. In India, sacred texts like the Vedas preserved spiritual teachings alongside glimpses of daily life. Each civilization added its own chapter to the story of humanity, but while these records were groundbreaking, they weren't quite history as we understand it today. For that, we need to meet someone special. Now let's fast forward again, this time to ancient Greece in the 5th century BCE. Here we find a man named Herodotus, often called the father of history. Why does he deserve such a title? Because he did something revolutionary. He wrote the Histories, a sweeping account of the Greco-Persian wars and the cultures involved. What made Herodotus different? He didn't just rely on hearsay or myth. He traveled far and wide, interviewing eyewitnesses, gathering first-hand accounts, and piecing together a narrative that combined facts with analysis. Sure, some of his stories might sound a little embellished, like giant ants digging up gold, but his approach laid the foundation for modern historical research. Not long after Herodotus came another Greek historian, Thucydides, whose work on the Peloponnesian War set a higher standard for accuracy and objectivity. Together, these two men transformed history from a collection of anecdotes into a disciplined pursuit of truth. While Herodotus gets most of the credit, let's not forget the countless others who kept history alive long before him. These unsung heroes were the scribes, priests, and chroniclers of ancient civilizations. Mesopotamia, the Sumerian king list, a fascinating blend of myth and reality, listing rulers and their accomplishments. Hammurabi's Code, a legal document that also reveals societal values and justice systems. Egypt, the Palermo Stone, a carved slab detailing royal lineages and significant events. Tomb inscriptions celebrating military victories and divine favor. China, the Shiji, or Records of the Grand Historian, by Sima Qian, a monumental work spanning centuries of Chinese history. India, the Vedas. While primarily religious, they offer insights into ancient customs, governance, and beliefs. These early records remind us that history belongs to everyone, not just scholars or elites. Every culture has its own version of the past, shaped by its unique perspective, and together they form a mosaic of humanity's shared journey. You might be wondering, why should we care about all this? After all, these events happened thousands of years ago. What relevance do they have to our lives today? Here's the truth. History is more than just dates and names. It's a mirror reflecting who we are and where we come from. It teaches us resilience, creativity, and the power of collaboration. It reminds us of both our triumphs and our mistakes, offering lessons we desperately need in an ever-changing world. Think about it. Every time you read a book, watch a documentary, or scroll through social media, you're participating in the ongoing story of humanity. You're part of history, too. And guess what? So is the person sitting next to you. We're all connected through this grand tapestry of human experience. History isn't just something that happens, it's something we create. Every choice you make, every story you share, every action you take contributes to the larger narrative of humanity. Whether you're documenting your family's heritage, advocating for social change, or simply learning about the past, you're helping to shape the future. So here's my challenge to you. What role will you play in history? Will you be a storyteller, a builder, a dreamer? Will you leave behind something worth remembering? Whatever it is, remember this. History isn't just about the big names or famous events. It's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What part of history inspires you most? Is it the courage of explorers, the wisdom of ancient philosophers, or the resilience of everyday heroes? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop believing in the power of your story.